Hey everyone, Spicy Toast Gaming here. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope this video can make it a little bit better. Patch notes just dropped, so we're going to be going over them, and there is a lot, definitely more than I was expecting. If you enjoy the daily content, like and subscribe is greatly appreciated, and let's get into it. So, up first, Yasuo is getting his 6-star constellation, and they're also adding Swain to the roster of champions as well. So up first, new adventure. Swain is not only getting added as a playable champion, he's also being added as a boss. So what they're doing is they're taking Swain from the 2-star Vi campaign, and they're changing that from just Vi's campaign into a full-blown adventure, updating it, making it go up to 5 stars. This is going to be their first little like hard mode challenge. Should be quite a lot of fun. So this is the rewards you can get from doing it. 40 Swain fragments. Really fun to be able to beat this challenge and then be rewarded with fragments for the boss you just finished fighting. That's really awesome. 1,000 Stardust, Platinum Vault, another 1,000 Stardust, and 1 Noxus Gold Star Vessel. Really nice. This is helping you get some good rewards and potentially help you level up your Swain. Now, this will be a very hard challenge. Not sure if it's going to be harder than Lissandra or not, but it is supposed to be difficult. This is going to be something that you're wanting to bring your big, scary champions you've been upgraded over the last patch up to that 5 or 6 stars. You want to be bringing them into this challenge. Should be quite a lot of fun. Now, they are also adding Swain, so let's go over his 6 different star powers. Up first, we have Crush the Weak. So your first spell or skill each round deals 1 extra damage for each 5 health the enemy nexus is missing. So at the start of the game, this actually isn't going to do anything, because if the enemy's at full health, then it's not going to trigger. But the lower they get, the stronger you get, which should be a pretty interesting mechanic. And then when you're going against some of these opponents that have a lot of Nexus health, like Lissandra, that is 99 Nexus health, your spells just get stronger and stronger. So that should be really fun to play with. The 2-star, +1 starting mana, and when a unit dies, deal 1 to the enemy Nexus. Important thing to note here, this is a unit, not an enemy unit. So even if you kill your own units, you're still going to be dealing damage to the enemy nexus. Really good for just doing a lot of that burn damage. And also all of this out of combat damage is helping you level up your Swain. So that is very nice right there. 3rd star power, same as the first one, except now your first 3 spells or skills will deal that extra damage based on their missing nexus health. And 3 spells or skills every round is quite a lot. So really, this is normally just going to be all of your spells and skills are going to be doing that extra damage. Because if you're playing more than 3 in a single round, you're being pretty spammy, which great if you're able to do that, but normally it's just going to be all the spells and skills you play. Now, the 4th star power, Raiding Party. When you damage the enemy nexus, grant the top ally in your deck 1/1. Since you're doing all of this nexus damage, this should give you some pretty good scaling on top of the large amount of removal you're going to be having. 5th star power, Mana Flow. Pretty simple and straightforward, just extra mana gem. The 6th star power, though, when you damage an enemy with a spell or skill, you deal the same amount to all other enemies as well. So essentially, every single one of your spells is now hitting the entire enemy board for damage. This is absolutely insane. You're going to have such great board clear. And this should also work with some of your AoE spells like Avalanche, deal 2 to all units. It should deal 2 to all of them, but then do 2 damage again based on how many units you hit. So this should make your AoE spells also insane. Really fun here. This added with the fact that your spells and skills are just getting stronger as the enemy is getting weaker in health should be very fun. This is going to be insane. Hopefully in the constellation, we also get some upgrades to increase the damage of our spells and skills like we have in like Jinx and the Vex constellations. But this should be very fun. Moving on though to Yasuo. So we have Dragon's Rage. When you summon an ally, granted Fury. So this is going to be the 4th star power. And this one will actually be pretty solid because Yasuo, he normally is getting a lot of kills. Because when you stun an enemy, he strikes them. So he scales up quite a lot out of this. So overall, pretty solid. 5th star power, Mana Gem. Yeah, same thing as always. The 6th one though, round end recall stunned enemies. This will be very good in pretty much all situations. So now, every time you stun an enemy, it's going to be hard removal. So even if you don't have your Yasuo on the board, this is still going to be taking those enemy units off every single round, which will be very nice. The enemy will then have to spend the mana to play them again, just for you to be able to stun and recall them. Now, if you do have a Yasuo on the board, since they're being stunned and recalled, it's essentially counting twice towards your level up. This gives you 2 opportunities to strike the unit to try to kill them. Not as flashy as like the Swain one, but should still be pretty solid for you. Now, we're also getting some new content in the store. We're going to be getting a bundle for Swain with a epic relic that we'll look at in a moment. So we have a celebration bundle, a 4-star and a 5-star bundle for our Swain. So if you looked in the last patch, there was a 4 and 5-star bundle and also a celebration bundle for 3 champions, Misfortune, Lux, and Volibear. So essentially, Swain is getting that same treatment, so he'll have those different bundles. And normally the very first bundle is the one, as you see right here, that's going to give you that champion-specific relic, some blessings, some forges, and some shards for your champion. And then Viego is also getting a bundle, so if you're wanting to get Viego upgraded, but you have gotten unlucky, there's going to be a bundle for him as well. Now let's go and actually look at the epic relics that we're getting this next patch. All right, so here's an epic relic that should be coming out this patch for Yasuo. So we have power, if I'm Yasuo, +1 starting mana. A little boring, but it's still a strong effect. With this, plus your 5th star power, you'll be able to play Yasuo round 1 because you're starting at 4 star power or 4 mana. Pretty crazy. But then power, when you recall an enemy, increase its cost by 2. This is obviously pairing very well with your 6-star power of every time you stun a unit, you also recall them. Really nice so that if that unit doesn't die, then they're having to spend even more mana to have to try to play it again. So this will be a little bit of a boring power, but it should be very strong. Now up next then we have the Swain one, which is a lot more interesting in my opinion. So we have game start, drain 5 from the enemy nexus. This is doing a couple things for you. For one, taking the enemy down to that 5 threshold means that your 1st and 3rd star power are actually going to activate round 1 because they require the enemy nexus to at least be down 5 health. So that's really good for Swain, being able to then have your 1st and 3rd star powers immediately activated and ready to go round 1. But this also is going to work as essentially a regen. If you weren't at max health, you're now stealing 5 health from the enemy to heal yourself back up. So really good, kind of like a better version of Star Child Staff, which is a very good common relic. So this is actually an effect you could really use on everyone. And while it's not the craziest, it is just a very solid epic relic. One thing I want to try with this that I think could be very good is pairing it with 2 plunder relics. So they have plunder, I cost 2 less. Putting this on a 4, 5, even 6 cost champion, where this hits the enemy nexus immediately at game start. You then trigger your plunder, so now your champion costs 4 less. So you can play them round 1 without having any extra mana. This could be very fun. We'll have to see if that works though. But then the other effect, play if I'm Swain. So this first effect can work on anyone, but play if I'm Swain, refill your spell mana. So essentially this relic, if you're playing Swain, is just a better version and combined version of Star Child Staff and Lost Chapter, both of which are very good common relics. So I think this will be a solid addition for Swain, and this is the one you'll be getting in that bundle. Moving on then, there's some changes here for PvP, but they shouldn't really affect us too much. As some miscellaneous changes, you now can get a extra Nova Crystal bundle for Ionia and Noxus. You're obviously having to still buy them, but before they were just limited to 1. Now you can get 2 of them. And the Emporium can now be directly accessed from the world map. This is actually already live and is so nice. A lot of bug fixes as well. So some notable ones, they fixed the Galio and Thresh adventure rewards not syncing up correctly. They also fixed the daily quests so that you'd actually get the rewards from the bronze vaults. They wouldn't just open in the background and now go to your mailbox. They fixed a lot of the problems with Viego. So like the one where his possession wasn't getting cost reduced correctly, or his 2nd star power wasn't reducing people that were 4 power. So some nice fixes there. And then they fixed a lot of UI issues that were kind of making the game a little bit less clear. And then they fixed Jinx and Yasuo some of their level ups, because for Yasuo, he is one of them that's duplicated, and he actually didn't get his revive. So they're essentially fixing some of those. One very notable fix, though, is the fix to the monthly challenge rewards, where they were multiplying the output when converting them to duplicate resources. What this means is sometimes you complete the monthly challenge, you just get like an extra like almost 1,000 Stardust sometimes. Sadly, that is being fixed, so that shouldn't happen anymore. Little sad. Overall, very solid patch. I thought this was going to be a very small patch because we just had the massive Constellation update last month, but we're getting a brand new champion that's going all the way 6 stars. One of our existing roster is going to 6 stars as well, and we're getting a brand new hard mode adventure. This is fantastic. Now, I will be covering the patch live as soon as it comes out over on Twitch. Link down below to that as well. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe. Greatly appreciated, and I hope you have a great day.